Good morning and welcome to this edition of DTV. Today we are visiting with Coach Eric Mims, who has been working with our football players this year, assisting them with the recruiting process. Thank you, Coach Mims, for being here.
Thank you, Ms. Khadijah, and I appreciate your time.
Coach, we are not quite a week away from one of the biggest days for our 2017 recruiting class. What has this process looked like for this Duncanville year?
Well, this process is always amazing. Thanks to Coach Sample coming over to Duncanville, the number of schools that come to visit has increased over the past several years. He's known as one of the best coaches in the Metroplex, so a lot of the colleges come and they follow him. So the process is during the season, we have different college coaches that come to games. During spring ball, we have several colleges and universities that come out and they want more and more information about our young men. And throughout the summer, throughout the season, I have several coaches that contact me and ask for different information about our seniors and even some of our juniors and sophomores who represent Duncanville High School.
Can you tell everyone today how the recruiting process works for athletes involved?
The recruiting process for the young men is an inexact science. A lot of the universities come in and they're looking for specific heights, for specific weights that meets the standards that they have at their universities. And sometimes we have young men who have exceptional talents, but some of the universities feel that they aren't big enough, that they aren't fast enough, that they don't meet some of the standards. So I wish I had a magic wand and I could send every one of these young men to Power 5 universities like Texas and Nebraska and Oklahoma, but it just doesn't work that way. Not only do the kids have to be talented, the most important thing is their academic standards. Most universities are looking for students who have A's and B's. They also have to have meet the standards on the SAT or ACT. And so once you combine all of that, their ability to test, their abilities in the classrooms, along with their performance on the field, then that kind of combines what these different universities are looking for, and that separates guys from being Division I, Division II, Division III, NAIA, and also junior college players.
What should Duncanville fans expect to see on signing day that is different from the past years?
Well, I've been here for 2 years with Coach Samples, and last year we signed 9 young men to various universities around the country. This year, after going 11-3, we have a couple of more young men that'll be signing. We're expecting 13 young men to sign on Wednesday. At this point, we also still have young men who are going to be taking visits this weekend. So that number could even increase from 13, possibly up to 15, 16, possibly 20 by the end of the school year. Some young men will sign Wednesday. And then there'll also be another group of young men that didn't sign on signing day that'll still have options as the rest of the semester continues. So that number could continue to increase throughout the year.
For the younger athletes who might be listening, what should they be doing now to prepare for being part of this process?
Well, a lot of our football players are diehard. They're in the weight room every day. They're on the field. They get up early. They stay late. And just like the commitment they have to the game of football, they've got to have that same commitment to academics. Sometimes you get young men who have the ability but haven't put as much time in the classroom. So that's what I preach to the young men, to the freshmen, the sophomores, that their transcripts have to be attractive just like their athletic abilities. If they have all the ability in the world, but they have a 1.5 GPA, then there isn't a lot of help we can give them to get in University of Texas, Texas A&M, universities of that caliber. So we encourage those guys to have high standards academically as well. That also helps them in the recruiting process.
As a recruiting coordinator, what do you look forward to most this time of the year?
This time of year, I look forward to seeing these young men sign on the dotted line. I can testify how hard these young men have worked. I've seen them up here during the summer when it's 100 degrees. I saw them here during Thanksgiving break. They didn't get the week off like all of the students. They were here practicing every single morning. We practiced on Thanksgiving Day. I saw them during the rain, during the cold. These young men work hard, and so as hard as they work for us during the season and during the off season, I believe that's my job to work that hard for them. That's why I've sent out thousands of emails. I've made several phone calls, hundreds of text messages, you name it. I believe that our seniors deserve that type of effort from me and from the other coaches who assist me to try to get those young men into college and universities. This is going to set them up for the rest of their lives. What they do the next 4 years is going to determine the next 40 years of their lives. And so because they worked hard for us, I believe we owe it to them to work hard for them on our side from the recruiting standpoint.
Who are some of the players we already know of that have committed and will be signing, and where are they headed?
Well, our quarterback, Jalen Nelson, had an unfortunate injury throughout during the season against DeSoto, but he's committed to Texas State. We also have Cameron Holloway, who is going to go serve at West Point, and so he's going to play for Army. We have Maquan Mays, who is going to play at University of Texas, Permian Basin. So we have several young men who've committed. Tyler, junior college, is going to be fortunate to get Jakari and MJ. And so we've got several guys who've committed, and we've got a couple of guys that are going to go on trips this weekend and make that decision over the weekend and be ready to go on Wednesday.
All right. Thank you, Coach Mims, for being here with us today.
Thank you, Ms. Khadijah.